This unusual valve gear that adorns this locomotive appears to be the invention of Alexander Morton, bearing patent number 281548, patented in 1883. This 2.5-foot narrow-gauge steam locomotive, entitled MTR number 2, is from the Karachi Port Trust and was built at the Britannia Engineering Works, Kilmarnock, Scotland, by Dick Kerr and Company. Built by Henschel und Sohn of Kassel, Germany, this broad-gauge steam locomotive bearing number 25630 from the Sindri Fertilizers Ltd is unusual because it does not have a firebox and stores steam in the massive tank where the boiler would be in a conventional steam locomotive. This unusual and state-of-the-art puppet valve gear is the invention of Hugo Lenz, bearing patent number 2158331, patented in 1936. As seen here, the eccentric crank has been replaced by a device for capturing the rotation of the wheel, to be used by the puppet valve gear. Built by the Nasmith Wilson and Company, which later became the Patrick Ruft Iron Works, this 2.5-foot narrow-gauge steam locomotive is one of several mechanically innovative locomotives from the Bengal Nagpur Railway. Patrick Ruft Iron Works was located in the Manchester region of England, a region with which the Bengal Nagpur Railway had a long history. This locomotive bears the number 688. Seen here, aligned with the center of the driving wheel driven by the connecting rod, is an instrument that captures the rotation of the wheel, which is conveyed via a shaft seen in silver paint here to the valve mechanism and is the equivalent of the eccentric rod. The tube right above this shaft, seen in black paint here, houses a shaft that controls the direction and is the equivalent of the reach rod. This is the unusual X-class meter gauge steam locomotive bearing number 37385 from the Nilgiri Mountain Railway running between Mettupalayam and Coonoor, a section that uses the rack system on steep gradients. This locomotive has two pairs of cylinders and two pairs of Walschaerts valve gears. The upper pair of cylinders and the upper pair of Walschaerts valve gears are for locomotion using rack, and the lower pair of cylinders and the lower pair of Walschaerts valve gears are for locomotion using adhesion. This locomotive was built by the Schweizerische Lokomotiv- und Maschinenfabrik, Winterthur, Switzerland. This unique steam locomotive is from the Patiala State Monorail Tramway, also called Trainway in some sources, running on the stretch between Patiala and Sunam. As is obvious from the nomenclature, this locomotive is designed to run on a single steel track bearing most of the load, with a road wheel to the right-hand side to prevent the locomotive and the carriages from falling over. This scheme is based upon the E-wing system, where the single track was generally laid alongside a road that was co-opted by the balancing road wheels of the locomotive and the carriages. This locomotive was built by Orenstein und Koppel, Berlin, Germany. Built by Sentinel Wagon Works Ltd, Shropshire, England, this unassuming broad-gauge steam locomotive has internal cylinders and an internal crankshaft connected to the axle by two roller chains. Entitled Sentinel and bearing number 6273, this locomotive from the Punjab Public Works Department was used for construction work. This unusual articulated locomotive, bearing number 815, is the N-class Garratt type broad-gauge steam locomotive from the Bengal Nagpur Railway. This locomotive was built by the Beyer-Garratt and Company in the Manchester region of England, with which the Bengal Nagpur Railway shared a long history. Such locomotives are also called Beyer-Garratt locomotives. Such locomotives were used for hauling coal trains and mainly connected places such as Anara, Asansol, Chakradharpur, Jharsuguda, Rourkela, Tatanagar, etc. Restricted to tracks laid using rails weighing 90 pounds per yard, these heavy N-class locomotives are the largest ever to run in India and were able to haul 2,400 tons up a gradient of 1 in 100. Some sources claim that this locomotive is the heaviest locomotive east of the Suez Canal. However, the Beyer-Garratt built Ya-Nul-Adin Garratt type locomotive of the USSR was heavier before being scrapped. The N-class locomotives had the 480084 wheel arrangement, which was not found on any railway other than the Bengal Nagpur Railway. This unusual carriage is a broad-gauge track recording car from the Railway Designs and Standards Organization. The three-axle bogie on the left end has frame-mounted sensors that are connected to the track geometry measurement system on board the track recording car.